Okay, let's move on. When I first introduced myself, I said that I was going to go over some policies, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We have tons of policies, so I can't stand here and go over all of them. We'd be here for days, but there are a few key policies that we do want to discuss with you this morning. But you can go onto a system called Policy Tech. And once you get out in front of any computer, you can access that system and kind of at your own time review all those policies. Like I said, there are several of them. So at your own time, if you don't have access to a computer, you're welcome to come to Human Resources and borrow one of ours. And at your own time, look at all of those policies that we have. But in the meantime, parking is a big one we like to go over. As an employee, you are required to park on levels, if you go through the garage, levels 3, 4, or 5. Please don't park in the first level of the parking garage. That's specifically for physicians. And the second level is for visitors. So as an employee, levels 3, 4, and 5 are what you can park at. In your booklets, you have a parking map that also covers other areas, and they are shaded in blue. There's other areas around the hospital campus that you can park at. We even have a few designated spots over at Walgreens that you can also park. And usually I say if you can't find parking, then kind of shoot over at Walgreens. You can use one of those spots over there. But for the most part, I've never had problems finding a parking spot. So I always park in the garage. Attendance. Be sure of what your department or unit requires from you as far as attendance. For example, in Human Resources, if I'm running late, my director asks that I contact her directly and let her know I'm running maybe 10, 15 minutes late. She doesn't want me to call the unit coordinator. She'd rather me not call another coworker. She asks that I specifically call her. So just be aware of what your department, first of all, thinks is or says is tardy, and the process you need to take so that you can call in or let somebody know that you're running late or you won't be in. Because if you don't, then some things are considered job abandonment, and we don't want to go there. Other policies, release of information to the news media. This one's a big one, and all of those of you in clinical care might receive a call. For example, an accident on the loop, and they call and they say, hey, Catherine, what is the status of this patient? And you don't want your name in the media. You don't want saying, Catherine says that they're in critical condition. Don't say anything at all. Just transfer them over to our either house supervisor, administrator on call, or our news media and public relations department. Marcy Madrid and her staff, that's what they excel in. So transfer them over there, or even Human Resources, but just don't answer any questions at all. And we should be okay with that. Social media and networking. We all know that you have Facebook, Twitter. God, there's so many of them now. I only have Facebook. But just be careful what you post on there. We ask that you don't say anything defamatory against the hospital or any other coworkers. Be cautious of what you post. For example, we had to terminate someone because they took a picture, and they didn't intend to, but accidentally took a picture of the patient in the background. And of course, that is breaking our HIPAA laws. And she, like I said, she didn't mean to, but it was an accident, but it was something that could have been prevented. And we ask that you be very, very careful when you do post something on your Facebook status, or just don't say anything bad about others as well. Smoking and tobacco use, of course, if you're all sitting in here, that means that you are a non-smoker. The main thing with this is you have to, as employees, remind our visitors that we are a non-smoking facility. Several of them are still need that reminder that we are a non-smoking facility, and just kind of let them know that in a nice and courteous way. They still kind of look at you like, but just remind them. This is our scrub color chart. Now you should all have this in your packet as well. It just goes over the scrub colors that we require. We have certain departments that wear certain colors, and this covers all of them. Of course, nursing is a navy blue, just like you're wearing up front, and housekeeping is that royal blue, and everybody's pretty much wearing the scrubs that they're supposed to wear, but here's a list of them, so you have them for future knowledge. Uniforms, if you're not wearing scrubs, you may be asked to wear a uniform, and this is a list of what they I don't think we have anybody in radiology. Unit coordinators, I don't think we have anybody in here that's unit coordinator. Pharmacy, no?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So you will wear lab coat, the white lab coat, business attire, just the lab coat on top of that. We do not give you that. We don't provide the lab coats, so you have to purchase those, but just casual business wear, and then you have to wear the lab coat on top. Okay? You're going to be wearing the blue and black. Sexual harassment, Midland Memorial does not tolerate sexual harassment in any form or manner at all. If you feel you're being sexually harassed, please come to Human Resources so we can conduct an investigation. If you are unsure if it's sexual harassment or you're just uncomfortable, please, we ask that you come to us so that we can figure out what's going on and so we can help you. All right, emergency activation process. And the code for activating an emergency process is 1100. You can pick up any phone within the hospital and dial 1100, and that'll take you directly to the operators. You won't be placed in that rotation when you call to the operators. You'll place it like in a certain number as you call in. This, when you dial 1100, it takes you automatically to one of the operators so you don't have to wait. So please remember the number is going to be 1100. I'm going to go over some of your codes. You have all of these codes in your packets. And I just go over them briefly, but you have this information. And the reason we gave you this information is everybody here is required to take some mandated courses. These are mandated by our DNV licensing board. And what it is it's courses that you have to know and take upon your date of hire. And then you're going to take them again every year upon your annual anniversary date. And it's courses such as proper way of removing electrical, I don't know, something out of the plug. If it's nursing, maybe something like bed entrapment, things like that. And these courses are all catered to your specific jobs. So nursing may have a lot more having to do with patient care as if somebody in clerical. But these courses have to be taken by Friday. If you need further time, please let us know in Human Resources and we can give you an extension. You complete these courses, and again, you'll have information in your packet. If in front of any computer, I'm sorry, I lost track. Any computer, you can access these courses. And again, you can use the computers in Human Resources if you need to. How you log on, you will go to our AED website. And it's an internal site. You will type in your first initials, first, middle, and last initial in the back of and the number in the back of your badge. And then the very first course you'll take is how to maneuver through the rest of the courses and how to take the courses. So your very first course will be instructions or information on how to complete the rest of them. Again, you have until Friday, but if you need further time, just let us know, and we can give you an extension for those. But part of the codes will be in those courses. That's why I'm mentioning them. Did I go over it? Code orange will be a chemical spill. For all of the codes, just remember it's 1100 to get that reported. So this is a chemical spill. You will rarely hear these codes overhead. I think if you hear the majority that you'll hear is going to be a CAT code and a code blue. But by chance, if you do hear these, just be familiar with what they are. Code indigo, threaten inappropriate behavior. Again, 1100. What we ask of you is when you hear a code indigo, kind of stay out of the way. We have certain people that handle this. This is threat or inappropriate behavior. There's a certain handful of staff that are supposed to, whenever this is called, they kind of go up and figure out what's going on and try to resolve the problem or whatever's happening. If we have our employees running over there, getting in the way, it's just going to delay whatever it is they need to do. So we ask that you just kind of step back and let that team handle whatever it is they need to do. So, but it's a code indigo, and again, 1100 if you need to report it. Code pink, infant and child abduction. As an employee, we ask when you hear a code pink, we have certain areas that we have to monitor and just watch out for any strange behavior, somebody running out with a child or a baby. We're trained, you will be trained in your units and departments as to which area. Yes, sir.
With your code pinks, working in the pharmacy, I've experienced that there is a code pink, your doors locked, wall secure areas
yes.
in that facility
yes.
area.
Yes, they will lock. Yes, sir. And the only access that will be available will be the stairwells. And the designated areas that we are required to watch are certain areas in the stairwells. Our goal is to try to guide them, to get them into the stairwell, because then we know, kind of trap them there. But yes, there's no way out. We won't let them go out. But you will have a designated area to watch over. And you will be trained on to what. There might even be a specific person in your department that will be responsible for that. I think in HR, there's 2 staff members that watch 2 separate halls, and we watch out for suspicious behavior, babies, child, they will let you know what to watch for. But in Code Pink, that is what you have to look out for, and we will secure the exits and like I said, observe infant with children. Or Code Yellow, bomb threat. Again, 1100, what you do, you run. No, not really. You don't run. You turn off pagers, you look for suspicious packages, don't remove them, and again, just call for security, 1100. But everybody needs to be cautious, and everybody needs to be aware of what to look for so that we can try to find the bomb or whatever the threat, or just put it out. Or we all have the same goal. To be safe, exactly. Code Blue. This is the one you'll hear a lot, and this is someone in respiratory or cardiac distress. Code White, which it was formerly called CAT code. I think every now and then they may still call it a CAT code, but it's actually changed to Code White. That's a change in patient condition. Usually you'll hear that Code White or CAT code called, and immediately, maybe 5-10 minutes later, it will be a Code Blue, which usually means somebody was having a distress, patient condition, and it's probably not getting any better, so they have to call the Code Blue. Again, just stay out of their way. We have certain teams that will run up and try to assess the situation. We need to just stay clear so that they can do their jobs. Code 1000 is a disaster. You will report to your supervisor and be assigned something that you'll need to do within your department. So just be cautious and be aware if and when there is a Code 1000, just be ready to report to duty, and then they will give you instructions as to what will happen next. Code Red, Fire, we here follow the RACE procedure, which is rescue, activate, contain, and extinguish. We follow the horizontal evacuations, and again, all of this will be in those courses that you have to take on the computer, but I'm just briefly going over them here as well. This sheet is in your packets, and it's just, again, giving a little summary of all the codes that we just went over. And you can use these when you go into those computers that you have to take, those courses. And again, it's called Decision Critical. And you can use your little sheet here, cheat sheet, so you can get those courses completed. Again, the number is 1100. Okay, confidentiality, as Stephen was mentioning, confidentiality is a big thing here at the hospital. Please be aware of what you say, where you say it. You can be in the cafeteria and say something to a coworker without even realizing that the person sitting next to you in the next table is a family member of a patient you're talking about. And it may not be something bad you're saying, but a lot of people don't want their information or don't want their family member being discussed or their condition. Just be cautious of what you say. Elevators, hallways, even our stairwells, just be aware, don't say anything. It's better not to say anything at all. But we do have confidentiality is a big thing, not just for clinical people, but everybody. We do have a procedure for reporting an adverse event. On every computer, there is an icon that says adverse event. We click on the icon and fill out the form, and that goes into the department, and they immediately start the investigation process. But we just wanted to let you know we do have something in place. If you ever need to report an adverse event, just get onto any computer so you can start that process. Other information, Decision Critical, that is those courses that I was just mentioning. It just says pretty much what I just said. It needs to be completed by Friday. Instructions on how to complete are in your packet. If you need help, just come to Human Resources. We can help you. A couple of people may have trouble logging on or something. Just come on down and we will help you with that. Direct deposit forms, this is mandatory, so we need everybody to complete a direct deposit form in your packet, and please fill out a voided check so we can get you set up for that. The very first paycheck you will receive will be a live check. It's not going to be deposited into your account. It won't be until the second check that you receive that will be direct deposited into your account. But we really need you to complete those forms and turn in a voided check as quickly as you can so that we can set you up. Cafeteria meal deduction forms, if you'd like to sign up, this is not mandatory, but you have the forms in your packet as well. It's just handy to have. You go to the cafeteria, you swipe your badge, and then it just comes out of your paycheck. So it's handy to have. It's very useful. If you'd like to sign up, please do so. I'll take the forms back with me so we can set you up for that. Internet and email usage policy. These are just extensions that you might need for future. Password resetting, things like that. CareView hotline, this is for our electronic charting. Some of you that may be in medical records, you may need information regarding our electronic charting. That is the extension. Affinity is for our accounting system. I don't think we have anybody that's in here working in accountings, but that is the extension 1551 or 1552 to get them. Clarevia and @staff, it's the same thing. That is our nursing, and that's for their self-scheduling. So 5281 is how you get onto that program so you can do some self-scheduling. Get together with your managers and make sure that your department does the self-scheduling and that you have to go through Clarevia to set up the dates that you're going to be working. IDX, that's our radiology system. Decision Critical, again, those are those courses that you need to complete by Friday. It's 5355 if you need help, or come to Human Resources. Hospital Information Systems, the extension is 4040 between 8 to 5 during the day. After hours, the extension will be 1551.